again. Welcome back, everyone. Ken Horowitz from Sega16.com, and today I'm going to share something with you. My Mega Drive collection. Now, I don't have every Mega Drive game, obviously. There are way too many for me to collect, but I get the ones that I can when I get them at good prices, specifically the ones that haven't come out in the United States. Since I live in the US and I'm primarily an American gamer, I try to get the US versions, unless the Japanese or PAL versions of games released everywhere are the better versions, like Bare Knuckle 3. In most cases, I try to get the exclusives. And I'm going to share with you what I have. In no particular order. They're in alphabetical order, but that's because that's the way I took them off the shelf. It wasn't that I planned it that way. But I'm going to share my Japanese and my PAL games with you. First, I only have 3 PAL games. The first one is, if you're going to have a PAL game, this is the PAL game to have. Alien Soldier. This is a masterpiece by Treasure that is basically one big boss rush. Great graphics, huge sprites, lots of effects and explosions. This is the kind of game that made American gamers wonder, what the hell? Why did this game never come out in the United States? And considering that this was not a game that was released very late, it came out in '95, but still '95 would have been plenty of time still in the Genesis lifespan for this to come out. Would have kept the Genesis going in terms of software, especially in 1995 when with the flub Saturn launch and the floundering 32X, the Genesis really could have used more games like this. But this is an excellent game, and anyone who has a Mega Drive or a Genesis should have this one. It's kind of creeping up there in price. I got mine off a friend a couple of years ago for 45 bucks, about 10 years ago. So imagine, it was 45 bucks 10 years ago. I don't even know how much it's worth now, but I know it's worth a lot more than that. The next one I have is Cannon Fodder. Now, this game was released in the US on other consoles, so I have no idea why it wasn't released in the US here. I mean, it was published by Virgin. I mean, I guess Virgin was too busy with the success it was having with all its Disney games to go and make a port of this, but this would have been a really cool game to have. I mean, it's really fun, and it works well in the Genesis. I really would like to have played it with the Sega mouse, but there's so many games I would have liked to have played with the Sega mouse, but that don't use them. So, but this is a game that I enjoyed very much, and I like to play it every so often in short spurts. And the last one is Super Fantasy Zone. Here's another game that I wonder, why on earth did this stay only in Europe and I think Japan, but never come to the US. It came out in 1992. Sega released, what, Fantasy Zone the Maze on Sega Master, then forgot the series existed in the United States. I would have been all over this. I would have purchased this day one had it come out in the US. But I got the PAL version, so at least the book and everything has English, and several other languages, but it's got English at least, so I can play it on my Mega Drive. This is a wonderful game, very colorful, very fun, very animated, and I have no idea why Sega didn't release it in the US. And the rest are all Japanese Mega Drive games, so I'm not going to go into great detail with so many of them because there are so many of them. I'm not going to go, I'm going to look at the key ones and talk a little bit more about those than the others. Ball Jacks, like I said when I mentioned this in my pickup video, it's an interesting little 2-player game. Nothing wildly exciting, but I think I got it for $9, so anytime I can find a complete Mega Drive game to add to my collection, especially one that's fun to play, and this is fun to play, I'm going to do that. So, I don't know, it's okay, but it's not really a great game. I have Curse. This is a neat little shooter. It's not going to set the world on fire, but then that seems to be the way Micronet games go. I mean, Micronet games, I found them to be competent, I find them to be solid, but I don't find them to be mind-blowing. You know, they don't make me, oh my god, Micronet, you know. But it's a good game. It's not really that valuable or anything, but it's fun to play. And shooters on the Genesis, you can't go wrong with that. Keeping along those lines, Darwin 4081, I don't know why I was going to say 2084, I'm thinking Robotron. Vertical shooter, okay, I just find the ship's hitbox to be a little bit too big. Again, it's okay, it's not really the greatest thing on earth, but it's not a bad game either. Donna, the name is a lot longer than this, and I just cannot remember for the life of me what the rest of it is, so Donna is what I'm going to call it. This is a neat little hack and slash side-scrolling game. Lots of blood, but it is hard. Very, very hard, and it's one of those, you know, very, very limited continues, I think, if it even has continues. And you die, you get far, you die, and that's it. Go back to the beginning and start all over again. But it's got very good graphics for the time, and it's fun to play. I really like this one a lot. And here's one I mentioned in the pickup video, Doraemon. This is an excellent, I mean, this is an awesome side-scrolling platformer, and I don't think I paid $12 or $15. It was under 20 bucks for this one. But this game is great. Really, this game is great. I recommend that anyone who has a Sega Genesis find a copy of this and add it to the collection. I mean, I hear people talk about it being reminiscent of Super Mario World. I don't know if I agree with that completely, but it is one of the great platformers on the Sega Genesis. And trust me, with the amount of platformers that the Sega Genesis has, to say that is not a light thing, because there are a bunch of quality platformers on the Genesis, and this one ranks right up at the top. And I've got Golden Axe 3. Now, this game seems to generate a lot of controversy. Personally, I like it, but I don't like it as much as I should have. A lot of people disagree with me, especially my review on Sega16.com. I think that the graphics are a step down from previous entries. I think the magic entries are a step down. Now, yes, the multiple characters, branching paths, and the combos and moves that the other games don't have make up for that somewhat. You know, it's not the kind of game that I expected as the third entry. I mean, I expected the series to get bigger and better as time went by, and it didn't do that. It kind of took a step back in many regards. Not to say that it's a bad game, it's just that, like other games that followed it, bears the Golden Axe name, not what you expected. Dodgeball. Don't ask me to pronounce the title of this game, because I will not, I cannot. Suffice it to say that this is a dodgeball game that is really, really, really weird, but really, really fun. And it can be played up to 6 players. I mean, 6 players, that is insane. You know, how many 6-player games are there on the Genesis? And if, I mean, you don't believe me, I mean, look at it right there. Up to 6 players. You know, how many 6-player games are there on the Genesis? And this game is fun, so to be able to play 6 players on it is really, really cool. I've got Heavy Unit, which is another side-scrolling shoot-'em-up. You know, your ship can transform into a robot like Sidearms. That's, I think, I don't know if it's just the cover, but that's the game it reminds me the most of, Sidearms by Capcom. Sidearms is a better game. This isn't a bad game, but it's not that good. Not as good as Sidearms. Fun, but not mind-blowing. Seems to be the trend with a lot of these shooters. Magical Toledo-kun. This is a, I think I said that right. Whatever. This is a pretty cool little platformer, side-scrolling platform. Really cute in graphics, really bright and colorful, but it's fun. I like this one a lot. This was a surprise. I mean, I bought it on the cover alone. I think somebody sold it to me or included it in a bundle sale, and I just said, well, it looks really good. The cover, I judged the game by its cover, and it actually turned out to work. It actually turned out that I picked a good one. So this is a really cool little platformer. I liked it a lot. And Marble Madness. I got this from Super Fighter Team's Brandon Cobb, and I planned some point to actually compare it to the American version. The thing is, I'm working on that. I'm writing the script for that, but I'm not sure if it's a written article side by side that I'm going to do, or if I'm going to turn it into a video. I think I'm probably going to make it a video, because I think I can do it more comprehensively that way, and I can show, you know, the game in action rather than just pictures. I can actually show video of the game in action. I'd rather do that, so I'm probably going to do that. It's probably going to be one of the videos I make when I come back from Dragon Con this week. I also have Monster World 4. Now, a lot of people play the American hack, the English translation hack. I would like to play that as well. In fact, I have in here a translation, fan translation of the manual. So I have everything in English, but I had the original game for years already. So if I can get the American version, I will buy that so I can play it in English on the Genesis, even though I have it on the Xbox 360. And if I had an EverDrive, I could download the ROM. I might go that route as well, because I'm thinking about getting an EverDrive so I can play all these fan translations, and as well as RPGs, so I don't have to worry about batteries dying on me and stuff and losing my save. But I'm still going to keep this. I'm not going to get rid of this copy because I love the cover, and the manual is beautiful and everything, and I just have so many fond memories of this game that I'm not going to get rid of it. I have the New Zealand story as well. I like this game a lot. It's very hard. It's based off the arcade game that's also on the NES. I think it's called Kiwi Craze on that machine. But this is really, really fun. Taito should have released this in the US. I would have bought it because I was a big fan of the arcade game. And it was a really popular arcade game around where I lived. Everybody played it. So this is a really good platform game. I guess they didn't release it because, like I said, the Genesis had a lot of platformers, and I guess that they felt that the market was a little bit too saturated, so they wanted to keep some games behind. But this is one I think that should have made it over, really. It's not like Taito was releasing 1 billion games anyway, you know. I'm going to save this one. These two for last. I mentioned this in the pickup video. Cyblade. Haven't played it yet, really. I'm trying to find some FAQ or something that will allow me to play it because it's entirely Japanese. It's a text adventure, and I mean, I don't mind so much as not knowing about the story because it's in Japanese, as I mind not being able to navigate the menus and actually play the game. You know, so I mean, if I don't know what I'm doing, if I don't know what the story is about, but I know how to get through the game, I can at least go through the game and see it. But I can't even do that because I can't find facts or anything that have to tell you how to you know, the menu options and how to move through the game and things like that, how to progress. So it's going to be on the shelf until I can actually find something that'll let me do that. Sorcerian. This is one of the first imports I got. I've had this one for a long time, and I got really far into it because I did find guides and hacks, and someone actually made a translation of the menu. And since I wanted to play it on real hardware, I actually copied the menu and stuff from the screen so that when I played it on the Genesis, I could refer to that and play it. And I got really far. And this is a game, another one, Falcom. Falcom rules. Falcom is awesome. I'm really sad that this one never got an English translation on the Genesis because I would have been all over this day one. A Falcom side-scrolling action RPG on my Genesis? Hell yeah, I would have been all over that. But it's very text-heavy, especially with the job system and the menus and stuff. So if you can't find a translation or a hack, you're going to be in trouble. Somebody started a fan translation of the whole game, but they got as far as the menus and the initial town screen with the jobs and things, and that's about as far as they got. But at least you got the menu so you can navigate through the game. The game's mostly hack and slash anyway, so you can... I got really far, and then I stopped playing, but I'm pretty sure that I could probably get back into it and maybe finish the game. So I'll have to do that. I think this one is called, in Japan, Daisenpu. Is this the one? Yeah. But it's called Twin Hawk in Europe. This is one of a couple of games that I went out and found the Japanese version. I wanted the game, saw it, it was cheap, I bought it, and then after I bought the Japanese version, I realized that there was a PAL version that I could have gotten in English. But aside from the box art and everything, the gameplay is the same. There's no difference between this and the Japanese and the PAL version, so no big deal. I like this one. This is a really, really good overhead shooter, and there's a simple reason for that. It's made by Toplin. And I'm going to do a video on Toplin shooters on the Genesis because Toplin is the king of overhead shooters. I mean, they're great. They're really great. The other day I was playing Truxton, and I'm just amazed at how well that game holds up after so many years. Toplin is awesome, and this game is pretty damn cool. So, really good buy. Here's another one that I went out and bought the Japanese version and then found out that there was a European version in English. Turbo Outrun. Now, I like the arcade version of this a lot better than the Genesis version. The Genesis version isn't bad. It's just kind of like Golden Axe 3. It's... for an Outrun game, I don't know. Outrun was great. Turbo Outrun, Outrunners on the Genesis, and then Outrun 2 was awesome. But Outrunners in the arcade was great. I have to make that clarification. Outrunners 2 in the arcade was awesome. Awesome. I used to work at Time Out. We had the machine, and I used to play it all the time, even when I should have been working. But the Genesis port, I don't know. It's okay. It's changed up a little bit from the arcade, but it's not as good. Wonder Boy Monster Lair, right? Yeah, Monster Lair. TurboGrafx CD version is the undisputed king because of the incredible and godly soundtrack that it has. But this is a competent port. I like this one. And of course I have Wonder Boy in Monster World and Monster World 4. Gotta get Monster Lair. Somebody had it cheap. I think this is a PAL release too. Another one I got the Japanese version of. But it doesn't matter. I mean, all you do is move from left to right shooting things, so who cares what language it's in. But this is a good game. Really good. And here's the last one of the games that I bought in Japanese that I should have bought in English. This one, though, was one of the first imports that I got. And when I bought this, I had no idea that this was the Japanese version. I thought it was the PAL version. It said import, Zero Wing, import Mega Drive game. And I just clicked on it and bought it. And then when it arrived and I saw the Japanese writing, I was like, oh no, it's the Japanese version. Now who's all my base going to belong to? I don't know. It's in Japanese. I can't read it. So, but it's still the same game. I mean, Zero Wing is a decent shooter, Toplin. But what really makes this game so cool is the horrible translation in English. You know, what you say, things like that. But I guess in Japanese I lose that. But at least the game, you know, is still the same. That wasn't changed. And the last two are probably my best import titles in my collection. Postman. There's a fan translation of this in English, but really it's a side-scrolling action platformer. Why do you need to know to have it in English unless you want to know the minuscule amount of story it has? And it's also, I think, on the Wii Virtual Console. I don't know if you can still get that because I don't know if that's still up. But this game is badass, and this is another game that really should have come to the US. Really should have. I like this game so much. It is awesome. The graphics, the music, everything is just spot on. And it's Game Freak. Before they made Pokemon, before they went and decided to go catch them all, they made Pulseman. Why Pulseman has never appeared in another game, I have no idea. Do they own the rights to it? Does Sega own the rights of it? If Game Freak owned the rights of it, it would be cool if, like, Pulseman were a Pokemon trainer or something like that. Throw a little electric Pokemon. He only uses electric Pokemon or something like that. I don't know. But Sega, what's up? Bring this back, man. Bring this back. We need another Pulseman. And the last one is the crown jewel of my Mega Drive collection and one of the best games in my collection overall, and that's Panorama Cotton. I bought this game about 12 years ago, 13 years ago, for $150. I have no idea how much it's worth now, but that's what it cost me back then. I don't have the teacups. I do plan to get the teacups someday if I can find them, and I don't have to hock a kidney on eBay or hand over my firstborn as payment. I will get this on the teacups that go with this someday. But this is a brilliant game, very Space Harrier-like. Really shows what the Genesis hardware can do. I think Joe Redifer mentioned this in the GameSack video about games that push the hardware to the limits. It's got multiple paths, and it is just, wow. I mean, to see this in action on the Genesis really impresses. And it's Cotton. How can you not like Cotton? I mean, it's one of the more expensive games out there, but like I said, I bought this years ago for $150, and it was well worth it. Worth every penny. I don't regret it. Very happy to have this in my collection. So, that's it. That's my Mega Drive collection. I'm adding to it constantly. Hopefully I'll be getting some more games soon, and when I do, I'll post them in pickup videos so you can see what I've gotten. Thanks for watching. Remember to thumbs up the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Head over to Sega16.com and check out our reviews, features, and interviews. Head over to the forums and join the community, and I'll see y'all next video. Take care.